to the Rav and the Ravin of the sweet of the sweets of the 26th of Av. It's the Hilula, which means the wedding, but it's really talking about the day he died. When a righteous person dies, we call that day the wedding. I guess their soul is reunited or united with God. I don't know how it works. Anyway, so that's the day for today for the Satmar Rabbi Joel Teitelbaum, the original rabbi from Satmar, my namesake. On this day, I guess 27 years ago, I was circumcised and given his name, right? So later on the agenda is maybe to take a look at some of the source material. Why is he known as an anti-Zionist? Why was he so strong against this secularism or nationalism? Right? I'm saying the Torah was anti-Zionist way before Rabbi Joel ever came around, but people don't know that. People think that he invented anti-Zionism and he twisted the verses or twisted the Talmud to fit his agenda because he had an anti-Zionist agenda. That cannot be farther from the truth. And later on in the night, I don't know if he was one of the 36. He was pretty public. I'm saying 36 we don't know about, right? He was pretty. Everyone who saw Satmar rabbi. Anyway, so that's later on in the agenda. At some point, I'd like to go through the source material. I might have to pause the video to look up where the sources are, but I know we got to look at like Shir Hashirim. There's like 3 verses. I don't know which is the exact one. And then we got there's a midrash on that we got to look at. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. And there's also the Talmud on that in Psachim. Psachim? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We might have to pause the video. I'm going to have to pause the video to look up the sources. First thing first, you can't be sober. You gotta make l'chaya. It's the first priority of the day. Bear with me a minute, okay? I can't be sober right now. And I'm very, very sober. Alright. Sabri Marlon L'chaim, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Shakol Dir B'dvaro. Way before we get into any Zionism talk or anything like that, I do have other things I want to speak about, maybe including Zionism, but I'm saying before we get into the biblical source texts, I just want to clear my mind of a lot of stuff to say. So, in Exile, yeah, we have a way of behavior which is not necessarily our real true behavior, but we have to act a certain way because we're in exile. One example that I can think of off the top of my head is on the holiday of Hanukkah, you have an obligation as a Jewish male to light a menorah outside of your house in the doorway visible to the public domain. Okay, that's part of the commandment. It's not that you have 2 commandments, one to light a menorah and one to put it outside. No, the commandment is to light it in a place that's visible to the public domain in your doorway, preferably. Or it has to be in your doorway, whatever. Anyways, in Israel, you still do that. But outside of Israel, we're not supposed to do that. Even though that's the real commandment, we don't do that outside of Israel. Outside of Israel, you put it in your window. Why your window? Why not the doorway? Because we're in exile and we don't want to mess with the Goyim. We don't want to mess with our Goyish neighbors. You know, let them have their Christmas trees and they don't have to see our menorah like outside in public, flaunting to them. Why? Because in exile, you're supposed to act a certain type of way. You're not supposed to be like strong and mighty and we're Jewish power. And no, you're supposed to be weaklings, and you're supposed to be subjugated by the goyim, and you're not supposed to rebel against their dominant power. So I'm just saying, for thousands of years, they really hated us. It was smart to not flaunt our menorah and put it in their face. You know what I mean? And that's actually the law. The law is that if you live outside of Israel, you don't light your menorah outside. You do it inside. Okay? Why? What I just told you. There's other things, different behaviors that we do in exile. Like, for example, this is not so much related to the fact that we're in exile, but it's always been like this, that you're not allowed to teach Gentiles Torah. You're only allowed to teach some very, very select things that pertain specifically to them. You're not allowed to teach a Gentile stam random Torah or Kabbalah. You can't be teaching Goyim Zohar. This was always biblical law. You're not allowed to teach the Goyim Torah. It happens to be today, it's not true. Today, you're allowed to teach Goyim Torah. I've heard even Zohar, even every Kabbalah, you're allowed to teach Goyim everything. And that reflects a certain change. Why? What's happening? Because all the rabbis have agreed that we're in the days of Messiah. We're in the footsteps of Messiah. And that doesn't apply anymore. Now we need to teach the Goyim. It's a big mitzvah to teach them Hebrew, teach them Kabbalah, teach them Torah, to get them to convert, join the Jewish tribe. Even though for thousands of years we weren't allowed to. Now we have to, okay? So these are changes that have evolved within Judaism and our relationship with the Gentiles. Okay? And there's another thing. There's some things that we don't teach to people, even Jews, I'm saying, because they're going to misuse it, they're not going to understand, right? We don't tell everything, meaning there's certain things, if you're a scholar and you know it. If you don't know it, we won't tell you. Just, something might be permissible, but we're not going to tell everyone it's permissible, because then they're going to think other things are permissible. But if someone's smart enough to figure it out on themselves, they learn the Bible, they'll know. Where's all this going? We have to make another l'chaim because I'm losing my train of thought. That means I'm too sober. Okay, l'chaim. All right. Today, I want to say we don't have to be scared of the Goyim anymore. Not that I'm a Zionist type of guy who wants to say our power and the strength of our hand or whatever. That we don't need to be scared of the Goyim anymore because we have the IDF. I'm not relying on the IDF to protect me, and that's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying today we're in a different stage. Today, we have to teach the Goyim Torah and Kabbalah and Hebrew, even though we weren't allowed to back in the day. Why? Because we're in the ikvas of the Mashiach, the footsteps, the heel steps of Mashiach. So I'm saying we're in a different time period of history. It's very special, it's very different. The same rules that always applied didn't apply. So there was a time where I would say we should be very subdued, right? Just like we don't like the menorah outside because we're subduing ourselves to the Goyim. We don't want to antagonize them. I'm saying today, I don't know if that really applies. If you're living in Toronto, where, or Montreal or France, places where they really hate Jews, it maybe still applies to you, maybe not, I don't know. But if you're... Here's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is today's fighting between, the IDF and Gaza, it's a little silly that I'm saying every day Jews are dying, right? And we really don't have to kill a single soldier. I'm saying we have nuclear bombs. We can just drop one nuclear bomb on the whole Gaza and forget about them. Why? I'm saying if it's biblically correct. If it's not biblically correct, fine. So correct me that I'm wrong, that you're not allowed to kill people. I'm saying they're not innocent. These people are actively trying to kill you. So from my understanding of the Bible, you have an obligation to kill them first. You're supposed to maim them and disarm them if you could before killing them. But here that's not realistic. What are you going to do? Drop gas on them that just, puts them all into comas? I don't know. Maybe that's another option. Or you could send them into the sea or into Egypt. But the Egyptians don't want them. No other countries want them. They're not going to just go into the sea. I mean, they will. They're going to come to Haifa and kill people. So practically the only solution is really just to nuke them, right? I think. I don't have another solution. I'm not the solution master. I'm not the prime minister, But I'm saying, why do we send Jews to their deaths? You're not allowed to kill a Jew. I'm saying you're not allowed to kill a Gentile either, but These guys happen to have a special, you have to kill them because they're actively trying to kill you. You have to kill them first. That's biblical law, okay? Biblical law 101. If someone's trying to kill you, you have to kill them first. Like I said, if you can maim them instead of killing them, you're required to maim them instead of killing them. But you're not allowed to let someone come hurt you. So we definitely have to kill Gaza or maim them or disarm them or send them away, you know, but sending them away I don't think is even a solution because they're going to kill Jews wherever they find them. So you really have to kill, from my understanding, again, correct me if I'm wrong, from my understanding, you have to kill everyone in Gaza, you do. I'm saying maybe you could give them a chance to, you know, if anyone's really, really peaceful, even though I don't believe it for a second, but if anyone's really peaceful, okay, so raise your hand, then come here and we're going to kill everyone besides you. I don't know how that works. But I'm just saying today's generation, we're not living 1,000 years ago that we have to be scared of the Goyim. I'm saying you don't have to appease the West and send Jews to their deaths every single day because we don't want to nuke Gaza. So we're going to instead have soldiers get killed every day because maybe it'll... Why are you sending people into Gaza? Because if you just nuke them, everyone's going to die. If we send them in, half of them will survive, but half of us are going to die. It's retarded. Let them all die and let all of us survive. Why are we killing Jews is my point. And if you're going to say, well, who says Jewish lives are more important than Goyish lives? First, I have two things to respond. It's not just that Jewish lives are more important. They are. Biblical law, if you can only save a Jew, if you only can save one person, a Jew or a non-Jew, you have to save the Jew first. By the way, if you can only save yourself or another person, even if the other person's a Jew, you have to save your own life first. Okay, so it's not just that I'm more important. It's to me I'm more important. I have to save myself before I save you, and I have to save a Jew before I have to save a Goy. That's the biblical law. It also happens to be these guys are terrorists looking to kill people, so anyways we have to kill them. Even if we can both survive, I'm saying if they're trying to kill you, and it's not just that only one of us can survive, I have to choose myself. No, if they're trying to kill you, you have to kill them. Not just you, by the way. If they're trying to kill other people also, you have to kill them. I'm saying if you see someone running with a knife, chasing someone, you have to kill the guy with the knife. Or maim him, like we spoke about. Or maim him and disarm him. So anyways, what am I trying to say? I'm a little pissed that we're killing Jews every day, sending them to Gaza to die, because it's just to appease the West. I'm saying if the West didn't exist, right? If there was no West, no one telling us what to do, I mean, you've got to be retarded not to just nuke the place. It's just a nuisance. They don't do anything productive for us or for themselves. Why would you let them live? Right? Good. I wanted to get that out of my head. Thank you. Well, what was I trying to make with that point? That there's no reason to be afraid of the West and to let Jews die only to appease the West. It's ridiculous. It's retarded. Jewish lives matter. You're not allowed to kill a Jew. You're not allowed to kill anyone, but you have to protect the Jewish lives at all costs, even at the cost of Gazan lives. And we should just kill everyone in Gaza and end the problem instead of even risking one Jewish life. If you don't like it, I don't care. That's what the Bible would tell you, is telling you. You don't like it, not my problem. I don't write the Bible. What does that have to do with today? Why is it different today? I'm just saying today we don't have to really worry about... Why not? Why? Because we have a Jewish state? Not because we have a Jewish state. I'm just saying, just like today you have to teach Goyim Torah and Kabbalah in Hebrew, and it used to be forbidden. Something changed today because we're in the Ikvus of the Mashiach. I'm saying a similar thing. Like, I don't think today we really have to worry so much about the Goyim. I think God's with us. We got to do what God wants from us and not worry about the Goyim. The Goyim are going to complain. The Goyim are going to protest. The Goyim are going to sanction us. Let them. We know they're coming for us anyway. You know about the prophecies, end of day prophecies. All the nations are going to gather around Jerusalem and wage war against us. So why should we be appeasing them if they're coming to kill us anyway? Don't appease no one. Let them come. We'll nuke the whole fucking world. By the way, I'm for it. If the whole world comes against Israel, even me as an anti-Zionist who hates the state of Israel, I would support them nuking the whole world. I would, as long as the Jews remain. I think the Zionists are corrupt, and we'll talk about why, maybe, but I don't think the Goyim are any better. I'm saying, everyone who hates on the Mossad for being corrupt, you think the CIA is better? You think MI6 is better? You don't even know the stuff they're involved in. I don't know, but the little things you can hear about that it became public, saying the Mossad is not that bad compared to the Goyim. The Goyim are way worse, and that's why, as much as I hate the IDF and I hate the state of Israel and its government, I support them more than any other government because every other government is way worse. I'm saying Trump killed Americans with the vaccine and his lockdown protocols and all that, right? Bibi also did. So why do I hate on... I don't know who I hate on more. I probably hate on Bibi more. But I really should hate on Trump more because Or maybe not, I don't know. It's complicated because Trump's a goy, so he's less responsible maybe. Bibi's a Jew, so he should be more responsible. But Bibi also does some good things. You know, Trump also does good things. It's very complicated, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Chaim, Chaim. Let's go pull out the Talmud. Let's pull out the Talmud. Try to find Talmud about the 3 oaths. So we have a, not in the Masifta, they have an art scroll. I think we need like Psachim 99a, someone wrote. Give me a minute. Try to find this. They might be missing it in this set. We'll have to get a different set without the explanations. This has explanations. I don't know if I'm just missing it or... Oh, yeah. Psachim. Should be 99. This is 101. Here's 99. It's definitely not that one. Maybe it's 99b. Oh, this is definitely the wrong book. I've learned this before. I've read Psachim. I actually learned that with my rabbi in Lakewood, I think. All right, I'm going to pause this video and look up the sources. Hold on. Hold on. I'll be right back. Ksubis 111a. All right, we're looking for Ksubis 111a. Ksubis. Ksubis 111a. Ksubis, right here. $111a Ksubis. This is 110b. Okay, this is 111a, okay? This is the Art Scroll edition of the Talmud. It has some explanations. It should help us figure out what's going on. It's all in Hebrew, the explanations. But my Hebrew is pretty good. So I think we'll be able to figure it out, okay? All right. 111a Tractate Ksubis. Let's try to find where. Oh wow, it's the middle of a whole discussion. It doesn't just start off with this anti-Zionist stuff. It's the middle of a whole discussion about verses and what they mean, arguing. I'm trying to remember because I've learned this in the past, but it's not in. Let's start from here, okay? The Gemara starts. I'm reading from the commentary. Let me just show you the page, the Tzuras Hadaf. What's going on? This is the standard Talmud page. This is what it looks like, okay? This is the Talmud. On the inside, you have a commentary called Rashi, and the outside, you have a more in-depth commentary asking tough questions called Tosafot, grandchildren of Rashi. This is not standard. This is a special edition that has commentary here. Okay, this is something new that just came out in the last, generations. It's not like something we've had forever. This is we've had for a long time. The Talmud looked exactly like this, with this commentary. And that commentary has been at least a few hundred years like that. Obviously, the text itself goes back a couple thousand years, but anyway, so at the end of 110b, we have here, I'm going to read from the commentary side. It just makes it easier to explain stuff, tells you where the commas are and where the periods are, So the Gemara is beginning to judge this question if it's permitted to go up from Babylon to the land of Israel. Are you allowed to leave Babylon and go up to Israel? Why not? Maybe we'll see. But that's the question that the Talmud is dealing with, okay? So, Rabbi Zira have a kamishtamet mine de Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Zera was like hiding and scared to see Rav Yehuda, who was his rabbi. Okay? Why? Diva lemesach, because he wanted to go up Eretz Yisrael. He wanted to go up to Israel. And he was afraid that his Rabbi Yehuda would protest and not let him go. His rabbi is going to tell him you're not allowed to go. Okay? Why would his rabbi is Rabbi Yehuda, why would Rabbi Yehuda tell him he's not allowed to go up to Eretz Yisrael, to the land of Israel from Babylon? Why not? Rabbi Yehuda, because Rabbi Yehuda says, this is his opinion, he says, Kol ha'olam mibavel Eretz Yisrael over ba'aseh, anyone who goes up from Babylon, anyone who goes up from Babylon to the land of Israel, he's transgressing a biblical commandment, Shenemar, as it's written in Jeremiah 27:22. What's it written? Bavela yuva'u v'shamayu ad yom pakti oisam nom Hashem. In to Babylon, they came, or I brought them, and there they should be until the day that I redeemed them, says God. More or less translated, okay? This verse, again, look it up yourself. Jeremiah 27:22 says, I'm bringing you to Babylon and you should stay there until I redeem you. Okay? Rabbi Yehuda, the teacher of Rabbi Zera, uses this to say that you're not allowed to leave Babylon and go back to Eretz Yisrael. God brought you from the land of Israel to Babylon. You have to stay there. You're not allowed to leave and go back to Israel. And that's why this student, Rabbi Zera, was hiding from his rabbi, because he had plans to go to Israel from Babylon. He didn't want his rabbi to forbid him from doing it. He knew his rabbi would tell him not to, so he was hiding from his rabbi. Because if his rabbi told him not to, apparently he wouldn't go, right? Or it would mess him up or something. Even though he knows his rabbi is going to tell him not to, as long as he, for now, he's just hiding from his rabbi. Right, okay, fine. The Rabbi Zera, this student, what would he answer? Like, what's his, like, you have a clear verse, so why are you going to Israel if it says not to, right? So what's his opinion? How does he deal with this? He's saying this verse that was mentioned, it's not talking about the exiles, that they're not allowed to go back to Israel. Rather, it's talking about the vessels of service used in the Holy Temple, that regarding them, it says that you have to leave them in Babylon until I redeem you, and that you can't bring them back to Israel. Okay? So Rabbi Zera says that verse in Jeremiah that says that you can't return from Babylon to Israel, that's talking about specifically the vessels of the temple. You can't bring them back from Babylon to the land of Israel, okay? Rav Yehuda and his teacher that doesn't want him to go, the Rav Yehuda, who says you can't go, Ksiv Krachrina. Okay, so we have another verse. And from there, we can learn this, I guess. And this is from the Song of Songs, and this is the actual biblical prohibition. If you want to see, not from the Talmud, because I'm saying most of you guys don't believe in the Talmud. A lot of Jews don't believe in the Talmud. Christians hate the Talmud. Muslims hate the Talmud. Everything you see on the internet about the Talmud is full of lies. I'm saying, if you ever seen the memes, they have like 20 things listed. Like, oh, the Talmud compares Gentiles to animals. The Talmud permits raping a 3-year-old. Like, they're all lies, every single one of them. And if you open up the page of the Talmud that they quote, usually it has nothing to do with that. And if it's even on subject, it's not saying what they're saying. They're like pulling things out of the air. Not even out of there. They literally just invent stuff, these anti-Semites. I'm saying they can't even read the Talmud. You think they understand Aramaic? You think they know the Hebrew letters? I'm just saying, you really believe this shit online. I'm just saying these guys are ignoramuses lying to you and you believe it. Whatever. Anyways, let's just continue. Fine. So we have another verse, okay? Song of Songs, written by King Solomon, chapter 2, verse 7. I make you take an oath. Hishpati is, the root is shavua, swear. Hishpati means I made you swear. So God made us take an oath. He forced us, or he made us to take an oath. The daughters of Jerusalem, that's us. Bitzivais Ayales Asada, with this type of animal or this type of animal. It's like a gazelle or this. I think it's the deer and the gazelle of the field. The continuation of the verse I have here, it's not quoted in the Talmud, but I have the continuation of the verse here. If you awaken, or if you awaken, I don't know why it has a double language here. Ta'iru, ta'iru. If you awaken or cause to awaken, maybe, the love until it bursts. Okay? The love that it's talking about is the love for Hashem towards Israel. I'm reading the commentary here. That you're going to awaken through returning the children of Israel to their land. And God made them swear that they're not going to return and they're not going to awaken with this, the love, before the time, the designated time. That only then Hashem desires or wants this love. And then he will return to the land. This oath is the source for the instruction of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda, who says you're not allowed to return from Babylon to Israel, we're saying we have a new verse, not the verse from Jeremiah, because that's talking about the clay sharis of the Beis HaMikdash. Thank you. It's talking about the clay sharis of the Beis HaMikdash. So we have a new verse from Song of Songs, okay? Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 7. I adjure you, which means I make you take an oath, the daughters of Jerusalem, which is the Jews, with the like the deer and the gazelle of the sun, or the gazelle of the field. It means that if you break this oath, I'm going to free you to be murdered and killed like the deer and gazelle of the field. Which, by the way, Joel Teitelbaum says there's nowhere else in the Bible where you have such a curse that God says I'm going to be mafker you, I'm going to make you hefker, which means ownerless, that the nations will be free to do with you what they want. We don't find anywhere else in the Bible such a curse. We find other curses, but not this extreme, that God's going to be mafker us, make us hefker, ownerless, like he's not our God, like he's not our protector, like he's not our creator. But yes, there's only one place in the Bible where we have such a curse. It's right here. And he says there's only one time in history it would ever happen, and it's the Holocaust. And he says the Holocaust was a punishment for Zionism. People don't know this. People think Zionism came out of the Holocaust. No, the Holocaust came out of Zionism. According to Rabbi Joel's understanding, the Holocaust was a punishment for Zionism. And by the way, he's not the only one. It's a very mainstream opinion if you grew up in the Orthodox world. I've heard this from other rabbis too. I'm just saying, other rabbis are very, very pro this. Like, people ask, how could God do the Holocaust? How could he kill 6 million Jews? Because you Jews are fucking corrupt Zionist pigs. That's why. Fucking Zionist pigs. Not only that, I'm just saying, it's not just that they're Zionists. They also had Jewish whorehouses. They did all kinds of sins. I'm just saying, the only group of Jews that actually held it together and kept strong were the Orthodox. So for anyone to say online today, like, oh, the Orthodox are a cult, the Orthodox are this, the Orthodox were just there to protect Judaism. I'm just saying, you guys had fucking whorehouses, you were fucking Zionist pieces of shit. I don't want to hear your shit. The only true Jews are the Orthodox. The only true Jews are the Orthodox. And I'm saying this as a guy who smokes on Shabbos and fucking hates rabbis. I'm telling you, the only true Jews are the Orthodox, and anyone who's not Orthodox can go fuck themselves. Straight up. All right, so far what do we have? So we have another verse. The verse from Song of Songs that says that if you, I adjure you, the daughters of Jerusalem, by the deer and the gazelles of the field, that if you go up, I'm gonna release you to die like them. You're gonna be slaughtered. You're not mine anymore. If you break this oath and you go up and you rebel against the nations and you force your way into Israel with an army, like the Palmach and the Irgun. Don't tell me they didn't force themselves with an army. Yes, they did. You guys are fucking liars. You know the history and you lie anyway. Pieces of shit, all of you anti-Torah. Anyways, for Rabbi Zera, so the Talmud says, and Rabbi Zera, the student, how's he going to answer this proof that you can't go back to Israel? You can't force the redemption, right? So he's saying, of course you're right. It means you can't go back to Israel. But he's saying, that means you can't go up b'chayma, with a wall. What does it mean with a wall? So he's saying this verse is talking about going up many together with a strong, mighty hand. But it's not forbidding a specific person from the individuals who wants to go up. And therefore, Rabbi Zera, the student who wants to go up, he holds it's permitted for him to go up alone from Babylon to Israel. Okay? He's admitting that that's what the verse is saying, that you're not allowed to go back to Israel. Because we're not fucking Zionists. We're Jews in exile. We're supposed to stay in exile. He's just saying, but I'm one person. I'm allowed to go up by myself. If I have an IDF and fucking AIPAC and all these organizations to get me back to Israel and all that, like whatever, and Yad Vashem and fucking birthright. Of course it's forbidden. Of course it's forbidden. He's not arguing on that. He admits that. Even Rabbi Zera that wants to go to Israel admits that. He's just saying, but I'm one person. I'm not part of an organization. I'm not part of an army. I'm not part of a political Israel, a state of Israel. I'm just one dude who wants to go live in Israel. Why can't I go live in Israel? The verse says I can't go live in Israel? No, the verse says I can't go up in mass with an army. For Rabbi Yehuda and his teacher, Rabbi Judah, who told him I can't go up. Yeah, I like you too, Venus. Thanks. And Rabbi Yehuda, the teacher, who he's hiding from because he knows his teacher's going to tell him I can't go up. What does he say? Isn't it possible that that's the explanation of the oath, that it's talking about the public? Who said a private individual can't go up? So Rabbi Yehuda would answer you like this. Rabbi Yehuda would say, Hishpati achrin ksiv. We have another time where we have this Hishpati is written in the verse. I adjure you, I make you take an oath. It's not the only place. We have another one. In Song of Songs, chapter 3, verse 5. It's the same wording. It's the same wording as the mentioned verse that we had. That God is making Israel take an oath that they're not going to awaken the love before the time comes, and that is to not go up to Israel. So if so, Rabbi Yehuda can explain that this pasuk is telling you this second verse is forbidding even the individual, because you have the same verse twice in Song of Songs, the identical verse twice. So Rabbi Yehuda would say, listen, one is for the general public and one is on the individual. You get it? It makes sense, right? Because it says it twice. Why does it say it twice? The second time is to tell you, even the individual is not allowed to go to Israel. Forget the army. Forget all these fucking political Zionists. Even yourself, you can't go. Okay, the Rabbi Zera, the student who's hiding from his teacher because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want him to tell him not to go. How's he going to answer that? We have a second verse. What's the second verse for? If it's not to forbid even the individual. He needs this verse. Like Rabbi Yosei, the son of Rabbi Chanina, the Amar, that he said, why do we need these three oaths? There's three oaths that are written in the Song of Songs, which are the two that were mentioned, and one additional one that's similar. In, I guess, chapter 8, verse 4, it says here. Ma ta'iru, ma ta'iru. Okay, so why do you need three oaths? Why is it written this, I adjure you, daughters of Jerusalem? Yeah, I make you take an oath. Why is it written three times? One is that Israel shouldn't go up with the wall, which we said wall means like in mass with an army, okay? And with political organizations and AIPAC and all that. The second one, right? Because we said the first one is not to go up in mass. The second one, and one is that God, the Holy One, blessed be He, made Israel take an oath that they're not going to rebel against the nations of the world. We're not going to rebel against the nations of the world, okay? So what's the third? That's two. What's the third one? Because we have three verses. And the third one is that Holy One, blessed be He, made the nations take an oath that they're not going to subjugate Israel more than enough. Meaning they can subjugate us and they should subjugate us. We need it for our rectification process, but they shouldn't do it more than is required. You know what I mean? So that answers the question. Meaning we said, what did Rabbi Zera, the student who wants to go up to Israel and he's hiding from his Rabbi Yehuda, how does he explain the second verse? Rabbi Yehuda would say, even an individual can't go up because you have the second oath. Rabbi Zera says it's three. He holds like which rabbi? He holds like Rabbi Yosei, the son of Rabbi Chanina, who said that why is it written three times? This I make you take an oath, because it's three separate oaths. One is that we won't go up in mass. One is that we won't rebel against the nations, and one is that the nations won't subjugate us. So you can't say that the second oath is telling you even an individual is not allowed to go up. You can't say that because we're using it to tell you something else. We're using it to tell you that that we're not going to rebel against the nations, the second one, right? Okay, fine. Rabbi Yehuda and his teacher, Rabbi Yehuda, how would he respond? because he's certainly not arguing with Rabbi Yossi ben Chanina. So how does he know that it's forbidden to go up from Babylon to Eretz Yisrael to Israel, even as an individual? So the Gemara is going to answer like this: Im ta'iru v'im ta'iru ksiv. We have a different language that's doubled in the warning. It says if you awaken and if you cause to awaken, or if you awaken. So therefore, you could say that the second one, im ta'iru v'im ta'iru, if you awaken or cause to awaken, or if you awaken and awaken, I don't know the exact difference, but they're spelled a little differently. Here, I'll show you right here. This is the verse. Im ta'iru v'im ta'iru. Ta'iru is slightly different than ta'iru. So say, why is it doubled? Why is it doubled? The second one here is telling you on the individual. Even an individual is forbidden. Rabbi Zera, and this student, Rabbi Zera, how would he respond to his teacher? So, right, we have 6 different warnings not to go up, because we have 3 verses and each one is twice. So how can you say at least one of them is telling you, how can you not admit that at least one of them is forbidding then even an individual, right? So how does he? No, he needs these verses, these extra words in the verses, for the warning that Rabbi Levi expounded. What's that? Why do we have these 6 oaths? Meaning we have 3 verses and each one has 2 oaths, double oath. So why do we need these 6? Plus 3 for what we said, right? That we won't go up in mass to Israel, we won't rebel against the nations, and the nations won't subjugate us more than enough. That's the first 3. Enoch, the other 3, what are they? One is Shalai Galu Esakates, that the prophets between us are not going to reveal the end time. They're not going to tell us exactly when Messiah is coming. The Shalai Rachaku Esakates. And the second one is that you shouldn't distance the end time, the final time for the redemption. You shouldn't make it distant with your sins. So the second oath was that we're not going to cause it to be delayed with our sins. And the third one is that we're not going to reveal the secret to the goyim. Nachri is like a foreigner, a goy. There's a little footnote here. It's very long. I don't want to... What's the site? So they say Rashi has 2 explanations. We might as well just read Rashi then instead of reading that whole commentary. What does Rashi say? Amrila Saida Ha'ibor. Right, so it's either the secret of the calculating the moon with the sun and the constellations, like the whole calendar system. And the other opinion, Amrila Said Tamei Torah. And the other one is there's 2 opinions on what's the secret that you're not allowed to teach the goyim. One is that it's the moon, the secret of the moon, and the other one is that's a secret of the musical notes in the incantations of the reading the Torah. So one of these 6 oaths is that we're not going to teach the goyim the secrets. It's an argument of which secrets we're not allowed to teach them. Some people hold it's the secret of the moon. Some people hold it's the secret of the song in the Torah. Okay, fine. Okay. So what does it mean in this oath? It says that I'm going to make you ownerless like the deer and the gazelle of the field. Amar Rabbi Eliezer, said Rabbi Eliezer, Amar Lam HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael, said the Holy One, blessed be He to Israel, if you fulfill this oath, good. V'im lav, and if you don't, ani matir es b'sarchem b'tzivaisu v'chayel es. And if not, I will let go. I'll make it ownerless. I will make you ownerless, your flesh. I will make your flesh, your buster, your flesh ownerless, like the deer and the gazelle of the field. That the wild animals are free to come tear them apart and eat them, and the idol worshippers are compared to these wild animals. That's more or less the end of the discussion here, okay? But I'm just saying, you cannot argue with me. People on the internet want to argue with me all day. I'm just saying it's very, very clear that the biblical tradition, which includes the Talmud, understands the verse in Song of Songs a certain way. And that certain way is that Zionism is forbidden. You're not allowed to go to Israel according to one opinion. You're not even going to go as an individual. We happen to not hold like that. We hold that you are allowed to go to Israel. But everyone agrees you're not allowed to go to Israel en masse. You're not allowed to start AIPAC. You're not allowed to start an IDF. You're not allowed to have Nefesh B'Nefesh, bringing Jews from the diaspora into groups. All that is forbidden according to all opinions. There's a doubt that maybe an individual is allowed to go to Israel, and that's what we rely upon. We paskin, we hold that individuals are allowed to go to Israel and live in Israel. But if you're going to get a Tudat Zehut, you're going to get a government ID card, you should know you're in violation of the Bible, not the Talmud, the Bible itself. I'm just saying, every fucking Zionist, every piece of shit that has an identification number with the Zionist entity, you should know you're in forbidden actions against the Bible itself. And I don't care if they do it. What I care about is that they lie and they tell you that it's not true. And they have every kind of false excuse to tell you why they're a Zionist. But I'm telling you, every piece of shit Jew and every piece of shit Christian that becomes Israeli and supports Israel, you're fucking going to hell. And don't fucking tell me that the Bible's on your side. No, it's not. The Bible is anti-Zionist, not just the Talmud. The Bible, King Solomon in his book, Song of Songs, is anti-fucking Zionist. We're not Zionists. Fuck the Zionists. May they all die and rot in hell. Fuck the Zionists. Pieces of shit. We're not Zionists. We're Jews. We're Jews. Fucking piece of shit Zionists. I hate Zionists. Fucking Zionists. Piece of shit Zionists. Chaim. What about the relics if they're not in the land? The oaths are individuals. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Yo, l'chaim. You guys, by the way, Sefaria.com, 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 Sefaria.com. They have the Talmud online for free in English. There's better websites, by the way, that have better translations, but they're like harder to navigate. Sefaria is pretty good. Anyways, you guys can look it up yourself. Tractate Pesachim. Was it 99B? I don't even remember. Or 111B, I think. We're on 111B. I think. Let's check one more time. Where did I find that? No, not 111B. Hold on. Yeah, 111A. 110B. It starts at 110B on the bottom. Okay. It starts right here. This is 110B. Kuf Yud Amud Beis. It starts here on the bottom and then it continues over here on 111A. Okay? It's a very, very short discussion. But I'm saying it's ridiculous to me that today you have Zionists that claim to be religious. They claim to know Torah. And they're Zionists. I'll tell you, by the way, most of those Zionists, they're corrupt individuals that either went to college or supported the vaccines and lockdowns, or they're getting money from the Israeli government. By the way, every Israeli gets money from the government. Not forever. Eventually, they start stealing your money. But like for the first few years, I'm just saying, if anyone that's Israeli is talking to you, you have to understand they're already forced into the system, and they can't fight the system. They can't tell you it's forbidden or that it's bad because they already mentally corrupted themselves by taking the government money. Now they hate the government because the government's stealing their money every day, and they're getting taxes and all this crap. The government steals money even if they're not working. They get taxed on money that they didn't even earn. For real, Israel's probably the only country in the world that does that. Even if you're not working, they charge you taxes on money that you're not even earning. But I'm just, and people go thousands of dollars in debt for this. I know a bunch of people like it. I'm just saying, they cannot admit that they were wrong because every time you do something wrong, first of all, they got bribed with money. Second of all, now they're so invested in Zionism by taking the bribes and by being involved in it that they can't admit that they were wrong. So I'm just saying, like, people on the internet that you see that are Zionists and claiming that the Torah supports Zionism, I'm just telling you, they're so corrupted, they can't admit they're wrong. They can't admit they're wrong. They're so corrupted. You get how corrupted they are? They're very corrupt. I don't carry my ID on me ever. I do have a picture of my passport and a picture of my New Jersey license plate, but I don't carry ID with me ever, even though it is state or Israel law, like not biblical. I'm saying these corrupt Zionists, fucking Zionists, they should all burn in hell forever. But their law is that, yeah, you're not allowed to walk around without ID. Which is retarded, by the way. In America, you have to walk around with ID. That's retarded. Fucking retarded. I mean, a cop could ask you for ID and hold you until... I got arrested in Connecticut for not committing any crimes, but the fucking Jews there didn't like me anyways. They called the cops on me on Shabbos, which is forbidden to call the cops on a Jew. You're not allowed to report a Jew to the government. It's forbidden. In Europe, they would kill people for this. The biblical law is you kill a miser. If someone snitches on another Jew, you have to kill him. It's biblical law. Even without a court, by the way. Even without a court. In Europe, if there was a snitch to the government, they'd kill him in the mikvah. They would wait till he went to the mikvah, the ritual bath, and they'd hold him under the water. This was tradition. They did this all the time. Anytime someone snitched to the government, they killed him in the mikvah. And no one knows what happened. I don't know. He died in the mikvah. We don't know. But anyways, I'm just saying, these fucking fake-ass bitch Jews in America, they're probably all Zionist pieces of shit in Connecticut, Waterbury, Connecticut. Anyways, they fucking got me arrested, and the cops wouldn't let me go. Even though I wasn't being really charged with anything. I didn't have ID, so they wouldn't let me go until I ID'd myself. It's fucking retarded. Because you don't have to carry ID. Why, I have to ID myself to you? Fuck you. I'll give you my social security. Look me up. I don't know, but... Anyways, I'm saying in America, you don't have to carry ID. In Israel, you do. But even in America, even if you don't carry ID because you don't have to, they can still fuck you over it. By the way, we saw the verse in Song of Songs quoted in the Talmud. We didn't open up the Song of Songs and read it, but we saw it quoted in the Talmudic discussion. But we did miss one thing. There's a Midrash. Midrash, I think, precedes the Talmud. I'm not sure. I think it precedes the Talmud. But there's a Midrash that also talks about this this verse from Song of Songs that we were using. These 3 verses from Songs of Songs showing you that Zionism is corrupt, forbidden, and the worst transgression you could ever do. Again, I want to reiterate this. There's nowhere else in the Bible where God curses us with such extreme words to say that we're going to be ownerless. The Jews are going to be released to the wild animals to be destroyed, to the nations of the world, which are compared to wild animals. It's funny because someone told me, oh, the Talmud compares Goyim to animals. And I was like, no, it doesn't. Here you see it actually does. Yeah, Goyim are compared to animals. But not, and he was lying. He was trying to say, because it says that you're not allowed to give your animal to a Goy as a Jew because the guy's going to have sex with it. That's what Goyim do. They have sex with animals. The goat fuckers. Look at fucking, yeah. Muslims are fucking goat fuckers. Christians, I don't know. They're little boy fuckers. But whatever. Fuck the Goyim. Anyways, they are compared to animals. And the Talmud does compare them to animals, to wild animals. So he was wrong because he was trying to prove it from somewhere that was totally irrelevant. He was trying to prove it from where again? I don't even know. But I'm just saying we do compare. You see from here. Because God says, if you guys are Zionists, I will release you. You'll be ownerless to the wild animals of the field. Which is, who's the wild animals of the field? We're compared to the gazelle and the deer, and they're compared to the wild animals. So you do, yeah, the Talmud does compare the Goyim to animals. It does. You see it right here. By the way, a lot of people are like jealous of the Jews, you know? It's like, the Jews are so exclusive. Why do they think they're better than us? Dude, you can fucking convert today. You want to convert, you can convert. You find any 3 Jews, that forms a court. Any 3 Jewish males above the age of 13 form a Jewish, biblically valid court. You tell them you want to convert, they have to reject you. You tell them you want to convert again, they have to reject you. The 3rd time, they have to accept you. And there's no money involved, there's no time involved. They convert you on the spot for free. They just have to teach you one law. They teach you one law, and then you have to go learn the rest yourself. I'm just saying conversion's very easy. And don't be jealous of the Jews. I mean, saying we are more successful and we are better and we are holier than you. But like, if you want to be one of us, you could. There's no reason to be jealous. If you recognize that we're better and you want to join, so just join. Don't fucking be a hater. I'm saying there's no reason to hate the Jews just because we're better than you. You might as well just join us. Or join us or don't. But like, don't be hating on us because we're better than you. We are better than you, but you could join. It's not like we're an exclusive group that no one can join. Anyone can join. Yeah. All right, here's my opinion. Someone mentioned the 36. We have a tradition that in every generation, there's 36 souls that are holding up the world. They're righteous, fully righteous, but they're hidden souls. No one knows about them. That's why I said it can't be that Rabbi Joel was one of the 36, because everyone knew he was saintly and holy. So he can't be one of the 36. The 36 are supposed to be like hidden, where no one really knows who they are, you know? Living in a forest somewhere, people think he's like homeless and retarded, but really he's holding up the world. So in every generation, there's 36 of those type of characters. Rabbi Joel couldn't be one of them because everyone knew he was holy and saintly. So it can't be him, you get it? But where am I going with this? I don't even know. Menorah goddess. I'm starting to feel less sober. I wouldn't say I'm drunk yet, but I'm starting to feel less sober. I might go do some MDMA, by the way, in Jerusalem. Last night I took some MDMA at the wedding. I also drank. I drank a bunch and then took the MDMA, which maybe wasn't super smart, but I had a good time. It wasn't super intense, but I'm a big advocate of drugs. I think today's generation is so fucked up. There's no solution other than drugs. People say like, oh, learn Torah, you'll get healed. Torah heals everything. You can go fuck yourself, you piece of shit liars. You're gonna ruin people's lives by telling them that if they study Torah, they'll be healed. My rabbis told me that, and I studied Torah and it didn't help. I'm just saying. No one can tell me that I didn't study long enough or I didn't try long enough. Dude, I did everything right. I had a long, good amount of time of my life that I did everything right, bro. I'm telling you, I didn't jerk off in over a year and a half. Not today. Today I jerk off all the time. I don't give a shit. But I'm saying I had a time period in my life as an adult male where I didn't fucking jerk off or have sex or anything that, for more than a year and a half. None of you on here ever did that. I don't believe you for a second. Anyone watching this right now, I don't believe you for a second you ever did a year and a half without jerking off. I don't believe it. If you're a male, I don't believe it. I'm saying I did. No one can tell me I didn't try hard enough and I didn't do everything right. I did everything right. I did everything my rabbis told me. I showed up on time to studies. I did prayers. I did everything fucking right and I didn't get healed. So it's fucking bullshit to tell people that Torah heals. The Bible does not heal. Maybe it does, but like you're not going to see practical effects. You want to see practical effects? Take psychedelics, bro. I'm telling you, I've healed through psychedelics. So I'm a big, big advocate. I'm not saying if you're like a normal dude who's like enjoying life, you should start taking drugs. But I'm saying if you're like me and you're fucked in the head and no one understands you and you don't understand the world and you know everything's corrupt and you're fucking depressed and anxious and you can't talk to people normally because your brain's fucked up, the only thing that's going to heal you are magic mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, and ketamine. DMT. That's it. Nothing else is going to help you in life. Not God, not your fucking rabbis, not your fucking Facebook friends, no one. Not your family. They're the last people to ever help you, trust me. I'm telling you, the only thing that's ever going to help you is psychedelic drugs. So I'm a big fucking drug advocate. I love drugs. I love drugs, by the way. I love drugs. Love fucking drugs. I don't love alcohol. Like, I don't think alcohol heals. I think it's helpful. It's a tool, It's a tool like anything else. But I love drugs. Like cannabis, even, by the way. Cannabis doesn't help me that much. But it's a good tool, to like calm down a little bit, I don't find it helps me that much, cannabis, But it helps a little bit. A little bit's also good, right? Yo, I love Torah. I'm not trying to diss Torah. I love Torah. I'm just saying, my rabbis always told me I don't need doctors or drugs. I can just study Torah and I'll be healed. I'm telling you, it's bullshit. I'm telling you, I earnestly tried it, and it doesn't work. I really believe them. And I tried it, it didn't work. A very important concept, by the way, is that anyone can tap in. Anyone. Meaning, I could be listening to a song on YouTube that makes me cry. It makes me really connect to God and myself. And you can read the comments, and there's like goyim in every country writing, I don't know Hebrew, I don't know what you're saying, but this word really struck at my heart and made me repent and connect to myself, all this. But meanwhile, the guy could be an asshole. The guy could be raping women every day, doing all kinds of retarded shit. You would never know. My point is that there's no one that's perfect, but even the imperfect person can tap in. I wrote this on Facebook recently, that I've come to realize that I'll never find the perfect Jew, but that even the imperfect Jew can tap in. And this applies to others and applies to yourself. Recognize you're never going to find the perfect Jew. We used to have perfect Jews, or close to perfect as possible. In our generation, every single rabbi is corrupt. They're all molesters. They're all pieces of shit. They're all liars. They're all angry individuals. They all want their own honor and money. They're all full of shit. There's not one holy rabbi today, by the way. Not one. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm saying we know we have the 36 in each generation, but they're hidden. No one knows about them. They're homeless psychopaths living in the forest by themselves. Not psychopaths. What are homeless? What's the word when you hear voices? Schizophrenics. They're homeless schizophrenics living in the forest that no one ever met before. You know what I mean?
Today's rabbis, Morgenstern, Kanievsky, Steinman, I promise you they're all fucking evil, wicked people. I don't believe them for a second that they're holy. I don't believe them for a second. I don't believe it for a second. Oh, they weren't rich. They lived in tiny homes. Bro, they had so much kavod. They fucking lived for the kavod. It's their whole motivating factor. I'm just saying, I don't want to like start fights with all you Orthodox Jews, but I don't believe in any of your rabbis, bro. I don't believe there's one holy person alive today that people know about. Anyone you know about, any rabbi that's famous, in my opinion, pretty low, not holy at all. Nothing to do with God, nothing to do with holiness. Yeah, they pray all day, they study all day. They're doing it for the fucking honor and the power, bro. You retarded? I don't believe they're holy. I'm just saying, my own personal belief, I don't believe that we have holy people today. I don't believe it. I'm saying I think we're all holy. I think you're holy. I think I'm holy. But to say like they're like Moshe Rabbeinu, the leader of the generation, fucking propaganda. I don't know where I'm going with all this. I really don't.
I think this YouTube live is the most viewers I've ever had at once. Current viewers. Right now it says 8, but before it said like 13. Only 2 of you liked it, but I think that's my average. You usually get less than 5%. Like if I have 10 viewers, I'll have like half a like. That would be right. 5% would be half a like. Yeah, that's usually how it is. If I have 20 views on a video, I get 1 like, something like that. So y'all are assholes for not giving me a like on my YouTube. No one sees who liked it. They just see that people liked it and it boosts my algorithm. You guys can't fucking give me a like. I have 2 likes right now, 7 viewers. Before I had 13 or 12 viewers. I'm just saying, y'all fucking assholes. You can't give me a fucking like on YouTube to boost my video, boost my ego, boost my self-esteem. No, you piece of shit. Now 1 of you liked it. I got 3. I'm just saying, all y'all pieces of shit, go fuck yourselves, every single one of you. Fucking Zionist pieces of shit. I'm out. And by the way, think I need you? You need me a lot more than I need you, by the way. Fucking assholes.